Yo, here's an awesome dry land and pool routine you can do. And again, if you don't have the pool, just do the dry land options. I know how to swim, but I never really learned proper form and technique. So I'm teaching myself how to do it. I wanted to share these drills with you because they're great for the shoulders, the hips, and the core. Also at higher repetition speed, great low impact cardio as well. So many applications here. I'm using my bodyboard because these are drills I like to do even when I go to the beach, and bodyboard, but also just a nice cushioned environment for placing my belly or back on. And I like to do it off the edge of the pool, which you'll see because it actually allows me to get more range of motion for my legs and arms. So let's start with the actual kind of flutter kick progression. I'm gonna get, if you can also do these drills, by the way, off the edge of a table. And I'm gonna start here just kind of, and you could just spend time here just relaxing and breathing and just opening up the hip flexors, which will actually help you get more glute activation. So it's lengthening the hips, relaxing those hip flexors, which get tight when you sit. And I can kind of go like this. Also, the more I get off the edge of this, again, keep tension in the glutes and abs so you don't strain the back. I'm just, again, really opening up and improving hip and spinal extension. But from there, here's what I like to kind of do to start, just to kind of begin, activate the hip flexors and stretch them at the same time. I'm also using this down leg heel in the water to pull in to get more glute ham activation. And I'm just trying to create 90-90 shapes in my legs. So just, again, a good mobility drill to start. If you feel low back pain in what we're about to do, you might want to start with this. Again, just to open things up, activate, stretch, align. So let's say 5 to 10 reps each side. From there, and again, the further back you are, the less stressful this is. But again, you can see where the forward usually make contact, I can go below it now. So I want you to take the arms, and see some people when they do flutter kicks, they go like this to the low back. I like to, again, create the active tension in your lower back. Start tucked, dig down in here, and then come out, toes pointed, and keep a slight crunch in the ass. From there, just start slow and kind of get more range of motion on this. You can start with the slower, larger amplitude, and then you can also play with the true flutter. So this is the back crawl for the legs. I like to isolate the legs and the arms separately. And I'm flattening the low back, I'm crunching the abs. I feel nothing in my low back, but I'm using the hip flexors to lift and the glutes to lower. And continuously, try to get a rhythmic breathing. Every 4 of these, I'll inhale, every 4 I'll exhale. And if I want to make it more challenging, I can come off more on the edge. Got the ab burn, it's just off the charts. But now you can see, again, I've got to create more flexion to offset. That's where you get the pain in the back. So I've got to create more flexion there. And again, this is hardest if you can kind of get out here. I don't have the stability that the arms to the side would provide. So you can progress that as much as you want. From there, going to front crawl. And, again, I start right here. Kind of even hold the board. That's what I like about the board too. You can kind of hold it and get nicely shaped. But start by just focusing on just driving one leg down. And you can use your hip flexors to push down into it. And again, you got to fight the tendency on this, which you're going to want to do, which is very common. You're going to want to bend the knees and kind of leg curl extend. Fight to keep the legs totally straight, point the toes. Drive this down and lift. So exhale up, inhale down. And this is going to help you create separation in the hips. Also, to give you the muscle memory to keep the legs totally straight, but feel the glute. You want to feel this glute on the lift. And then drive the opposite leg down to create the separation. And then I kind of move back a little bit, so now knees are off the board. And again, you can see I can drop the legs more in this case. Just work on one leg at a time separation. Legs totally straight, locked out. Squeeze the quads to make sure that's locked in. And then I like to come all the way off the edge here. For those that do more dry line exercises, kind of like a reverse hyperextension in a sense, but it's also a nice little stretch. So I can just kind of traction the hips and spine a bit, do some motion here, release, and then now I'm going to come back up, get that good glute activation, point the toes, and same thing, kind of a 4-4 rhythmic breathing, legs totally straight, and I can speed it up. All right, so the great thing about this too, if I'm doing it poolside, again, I can just do it as land, but I can also superset the land and pool versions of this. And again, put on your training wheels. You can use a flotation vest, I take, it's like basically a pool noodle, which is a banana shape. I'm gonna put it on my hips, and let's start with the front crawl over here. I'm just gonna put it on the hips to give me the buoyancy I need, but also this really helps stretch and drive the movement through the hips. So I get here, I'm gonna grab off the edge of the pool like this, and the closer you are, the easier it is. Further away, more stability required, but also gets you prepped for the overhead position of a swim. And now I'm gonna use the fluid drag resistance of the water to work that same flutter kick pattern in front crawl. You can play with being above water and also going under. Legs totally straight. And I like to go kind of a 4-4 rhythmic breathing pattern. I can flip it out quickly and go right into the back crawl with the legs only. Put the hands like this, same concept. Just isolating. The key to mastering complex exercises is to simplify the complex. So go legs only, and then I'll show you arms only next. Point the toes, legs straight, feel those glutes in particular coming down, but also hip flexor coming up. And just kind of work that pattern. Keep straightening yourself out. Also getting that vitamin D. Now, I'm gonna come back to the land here and show the shoulder actions of the front and back crawl. And again, I like to actually set up a time set sequence where I'll do 2 minutes of the dry land version of the exercise, rest 30, 2 minutes in the pool, rest 30, switch movements. So here we go. Let's start with the front crawl. And again, you can see I can actually get off the edge of the pool here a bit. But drive the toes into the ground, squeeze the glutes, get that lift, working the whole backside of the body, kind of an airplane or Superman. And then just working that pattern. Exhale on the in, inhale out. And then I can switch that and work the pattern here. Obviously, if I want some head support, initially you don't want to strain your neck. Just kind of rest the head like this. And I can still let the arms kind of dip off the edge of it and work that backstroke pattern of the back crawl. And then if I want to actually train the neck, press the tongue into the roof of the mouth and then work that pattern. Again, a little ab crunch here. But you can see how much range of motion I'm opening up in the shoulders. And again, you're going to get some good muscular burn work on mobility here, but it's more of just a muscle memory that you're going to bring into the pool when you're working these patterns. Again, take this. I obviously did not make the 2024 Swimming Olympics team. Okay, this is like a kid exercise, but it's highly effective. I'm not really worried about the legs here. I'm just working my front crawl stroke. And then, going back and forth, moving to the back crawl version. And I can also, again, use this as just an assisted device to just work both actions, arms and legs. Work has to be done yet on that. The final thing I'll show is my endless swimming device. These go for about $5,000 plus, unless where basically it's like a jet that creates water you go against so you can swim in place, or poor man, anchored to something heavy on land, weight, heavy bags, sandbags, band kind of strap setup, and I can weight belt myself. And that way I don't have to worry about like switching directions. I can just focus on the pattern for time. This is why people pay $5,000. Sorry, I just got it stuck here. There we go. And I'm just gonna hook it together. And if I'm going front crawl, I'm gonna wrap it. this way I can just stay in place. Or if I wanted to flutter kick, so again, just some great drills I like to work. Hips, core, shoulders, cardio, and again, entry level to kind of learn how to swim with proper form and technique. Obviously, I'm not a lifeguard, I'm not a professional swimmer, but as I get older, these are drills that are really important for me to stay in shape, easy on the body, and frankly, having been so land focused most of my life, I'm like a kid in here. Like, there's so many gains to be had. You see the weaknesses I'm showing you, it's fine. I'll get better like I always do when I work on something, mostly daily, but this is where it starts. I wanted to share the journey with you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and check out all my other pool workouts and land content right here on YouTube. I think you'll love it. Peace.